Hi, it's Lauren.
Hi, it's Joe, Skeptic Fence. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Super duper. So, all
Good.
right, guys, everybody, this is our guest tonight, Lauren Lane, co-founder of Skepticon, which takes place actually next week, guys, November 15th and 17th at Springfield Expo Center, Springfield, Missouri. More info, of course, is at skepticon.org, and we will put that information in the bottom box on YouTube tomorrow when this is uploaded, okay? Guys, Skepticon is the largest student organized skeptic and atheist convention held in the United States. It was co-founded by Missouri State College students Lauren Lane and J.T. Eberhardt, if I got that right.
Yes.
Guest speakers are invited to discuss atheism, skepticism, and any other related topics. This free event is sponsored by the Missouri State Church of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, as is held on the campus of Missouri State University. The Skepticon conference grew out of a speaking engagement organized by a student group on the campus of Missouri State University. The students invited two well-known atheist speakers, P.Z. Myers and Richard Carrier, which we are well aware of those people, so that's great, to campus to speak critically about belief in God. The event was considered particularly controversial because Springfield, Missouri is also the home to the Assemblies of God national headquarters and the campuses of several religious universities, such as Evangel University. In the 2 years that followed, the conference was able to attract additional speakers who were willing to reduce or forego their speaker's fee in order to keep the conference free to attendees. Donors help with the cost of event space and speakers' travel and cost. In July 2012, Skepticon received the On-Campus Event Award from the Center for Inquiry. Lauren, welcome to the show, and it's great to have you. I think you're doing a great deed here in the last 6 years, hosting Skepticon. And actually, I need to mention this, that David Fitzgerald, I think he's been a speaker there for what, almost 4 years now? 4 or 5 years? And
Well, he's spoken at, I think, Skepticon 4, and then he's going to be speaking this year at Skepticon 6.
Awesome, yeah, and he's a friend of the show. We've had him on the show here a couple times, actually, and he's a good guy. And actually, I believe he introduced us, which is great. So, anything you need to add in that little quick about?
No, I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head. It was started while JT and I were students with our student group in the Missouri State chapter of the Flying Spaghetti Monster, and we've since grown and kept organizing, and each of our speakers waived entirely their speaking fees so that we can keep the conference free. So yeah,
awesome.
Got it.
Sweet. All right, I got a couple questions, and Matthew has a couple questions, and Ned also has a couple questions for you, which I believe we already sent them over to you. So the first question I really have is, what was the controversy between Skepticon and the Assemblies of God?
I am curious to know what you think the controversy is, because I don't think I've ever heard of one. Really, what we just like to say is the headquarters is there. Can you even believe that a giant atheist convention is here? That's what we like. I mean, there's really no controversy between the two groups, and that we just think it's funny to mention that the headquarters is there.
Well, on top of that, was there anything like, were they trying to maybe protest Skepticon or anything like that? Was there anything like that went on, maybe with Assemblies of God or some other kind of church or anything like that was local? No.
Well, we've always had protesters every year out front, but usually, because we're so friendly with our protesters, we want to get to know them and talk to them about their ideas. They often don't last long.
No, absolutely. I think that's great. That's how it should be actually done, to be honest with you. My next question is: are there any other attractions or events the conference offers in ways of entertainment or socializing? Is there like some kind of event weekend schedule that people should be well aware of?
Yeah, on Friday night we'll be hosting Godless Perverts with Greta Christina and David Fitzgerald and Keith Lowell Jensen. It's basically sharing dirty, naughty stories about being atheist and being sexual. And then on Saturday night we have the out on the town bar night, where we have a few bars that have made specialty cocktails for the weekend that have a skeptic theme, and you can go and enjoy one of those beverages at a local watering hole.
Awesome. That's my type of scene, so I might have to fly out there and join you guys for that night. Joking there, by the way. I wish I could come out, to be honest with you. No, that's awesome, guys. And I believe there's a tab on there that actually gives you the schedule, correct? So you guys can go to
Yeah, go to
skepticon.org.
skepticon.org/schedule,
Awesome.
and we're also going to be live streaming if you can't be there in person. Everything will be live on the web.
Oh, that's sweet. That's sweet. I didn't even know that, to be honest with you. So that's great, guys. So yeah, if you guys can't make it, if you're local, please do make it. It is free. And yeah, if you don't, yeah, there's the live feed. That'd be awesome. So, my last question I have for you, and then we get on to Matthew, is in the 6 years of hosting Skepticon, what was your most memorable experience, or episode, or even speaker?
Oh my God! I honestly, they've all kind of blurred into one long weekend. It's hard for me to determine which is which because I barely sleep or eat. So let me think about
Your favorite moment that you remember?
So much, like meeting people and the talk. Oh my goodness! I can't pick one thing.
I know. Is there anything that stuck out that you remember every year?
There is an attendee that comes every year called the Blue Slushy Man, and he brings a giant bottle of hooch that is in an antifreeze bottle that is blue raspberry flavored. And he makes everyone drink from it, and it's fabulous.
I think I've seen a picture of you actually drinking from that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure every year you can find a picture of me drinking it because it's so delicious.
Oh, that's great. That's all I got for you. But yeah, thanks for answering the questions. I think I'm going to head it over to Matthew, I believe, correct?
Okay.
Thank you.
Let's go. I'm ready, Matthew. Explain it.
Lauren, I know setting up Skepticon, being this close to the event, you're probably extremely busy, so I wanted to thank you sincerely for making time to come on the show.
Oh, I'm more than happy. I thank you guys for having me on the show. It's great. It's an honor.
I want to quantify this first question because I realize it doesn't really have anything to do with Skepticon.
Okay.
It's more about your beliefs, but I'm wondering how you apply your skepticism to religion, seeing as you're sort of a skeptical public figure, and in the community of skeptical atheists, even you're a fairly well-known person, and that I think makes you sort of a role model, if you will. So I'm wondering how you apply skepticism to religion.
How I apply it? I mean, I am an atheist. There's no doubt about it. That is how I apply skepticism to religion. I mean, if you want to know like the full detail of every argument, I don't know if I'm your girl.
Oh no, I didn't want you to go into that much. I mean, I don't want you. Obviously, can say what you like. I didn't want to be too personal or.
Oh no, you're fine. Really.
Okay. My second
I
question.
am an atheist. Yes.
That's good. And if I might ask, how do you define that atheism?
Atheism, it's not believing in a god or gods.
Excellent.
That's
what I wanted to hear. Second question is, how do you think some people? Why do you think some people are so much more willing to apply skepticism to what they believe than others? So I guess that's more of a psychological approach to it. But why do you think some people sort of have this predisposition to be skeptical?
If I knew the answer to this question, I would be a millionaire. Really, I don't know. And if I knew, I'd tell you what, there would be a hell of a lot more atheists in the world. Why do people believe some silly things that they do? I'm sure there's lots of reasons. Because it's easy, because they've been taught to, because it's a tradition. They don't know any better. I don't know. All kinds of reasons. If I could fix that, I certainly would.
I think that I'm assuming that you have some insight to skepticism that I haven't ever had access to, based on your experience. So I apologize if I'm presuming too much.
Oh no, I know everything. That's the truth.
Oh, of course. But my last question is, what advice would you offer to people who aren't skeptical to persuade them to be more skeptical?
Well, I would ask people who are not skeptical or skeptical in every aspect of their life to ask themselves why. Why, for example, would you not believe in a God, but you believe in, I don't know, chakras or stone healing? You really ought to apply skepticism to every aspect of your life and challenge yourself to think about why you think about things and how you think about things, because it can only improve your life to help yourself to find why you do the things that you do. Great.
Well, thank you. I'll hand it over to Ned now.
Sure.
Hey, Lauren, this is Ned. I usually go by the negation of P or Ned. And first, again, I want to mirror what Matthew was saying in that, I know it's late and you have got to be just hair on fire running around trying to get everything ready this late. So we really appreciate you coming.
Thank you.
So I'll try to keep these short and let you get out of here and get some sleep. I'm sure that's the one thing you want more than anything right now.
I'm not going to sleep. Are you kidding? I have stuff to do.
Exactly. Hey, being in the Bible Belt and just in that community, I actually grew up in Texas, so I have a little bit of, foundation there. When I first started seeing Skepticon and seeing how fast you guys were growing, the one thing that amazed me is I never heard anything about what the community, how they acted to you guys being organizers and the participants. The only thing, and I think you actually were the one that mentioned this in one of the videos, that there was actually a gun show next door. I mean, how are you guys, treated in the community there?
In the community, we face a lot of resistance. Even though we've been there for 6 years, there's certain, oh my goodness, we get protested every year. Sometimes we're not included in the news or the newspaper because we're atheists, or at least that's what we suspect, but they won't tell us. You never know. It's a very gray area when it comes to atheism in the news and journalists. So we do face resistance still, but we try to just keep it lighthearted and keep doing what we want to do and keep Skepticon alive.
That must be hard, though. Seriously, though, man.
Well, I'll tell you,
no
one of the things that you said, and again, this is a video, I don't remember where it was, but I thought this was brilliant, that you were saying something to the effect, people don't really take you seriously when you dress as pirates.
Yeah, they don't.
that was great. I'll go on to my next question. Like I said, I want to let you get out of here as soon as you can. I noticed another thing when I was going through, making sure I at least knew about you a little bit before you came on.
Yeah. What'd you Google? What'd you find?
Well, no, one of the things I noticed is it looked like you guys dropped Center for Inquiry this year, and if you don't mind, kind of what happened there?
Well, due to the circumstances with their Bob Lindsay and the treatment of women, and just how the whole thing was handled PR-wise with the Women in Secularism Conference, we felt that while we don't have a lot of power or any sort of thing in the movement, we felt that it was the right thing to do to refuse their sponsorship, because the CFI became an organization that didn't uphold the same values that Skepticon does, and that any and all are welcome and all meet and must feel safe. That's why we have a harassment policy.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely admirable. You stand up for what you believe in, and even to the point of giving up money to do it. I will admit it's sad. I wish we could kind of get past that and hopefully come together again sometime in the future. But I mean, I think that's a very reasonable answer. I don't think anyone would condemn you for that. So, and thanks.
Thank you.
And then as far as moving on to the last one, it almost reiterates the first one. Talking about the university, again, how did they react when you guys walked up the first time and said, we're atheists and we're going to pull in all of these people? I'm assuming the first year it was kind of like, okay, you're kind of a joke. We'll get 10 or 15 people. But now, I mean, kind of describe what's happened since that first time all the way through now.
Sure. All right. That first year, we were still students, and we were a student group in the Missouri State Church of Flying Spaghetti Monster, and we went in there to ask for student group money to help pay for the event, and we were blocked in the government for weeks. They just didn't want to give us the student group money to have atheists come and talk at the campus.
Wow.
So what we ended up having to do is front the money out of our own poor student pockets to make the first Skepticon happen, and then get the money, hopefully after, whenever the student government finally got a little bit nicer and more congenial. And the second year, oh my goodness, it's blurring all into the second year was easier because they were used to us and they knew we wouldn't give up. I think the third year was the first year that we moved off campus, so we no longer had to answer to the student government. So it was easier, but when you're 23 and you're going to a large venue saying, hey, there's probably going to be, 500 people showing up, I think they had a hard time believing us. But luckily, everyone showed up. And then every year we've expanded so quickly. It is exciting, but also terrifying because I want everyone's experience with Skepticon to be as great as possible.
Well, I think they will, and I think that the main thing is, like we said at the end of the show, before the after show is the one thing that I think makes you guys really unique and I'll put you above is that you really work to make sure that it's free. And I mean that's amazing that you guys will dedicate this much time, get this type of speakers, and still it.
Yeah, if I may, I would like to take a shout out to my team, Micah, Jeff, and Floyd, and our anonymous webmaster, who we all meet basically every Sunday night. We're Google Hangouting and having meetings and making Skepticon happen. And I want to thank them for their time, and we're going to make it happen. We're going to make Skepticon happen.
Outstanding. That's all I got. Like
nice.
I said, I'll let you go and get back to work. I'd rather you go to sleep, but I guess.
No, I just got off work. I'm good.
Yeah, Lauren, you got anything else to say before I wish you off here with the information I'm going to say here? You good? Okay, good. So Lauren, it was a pleasure. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming in on such late notice. For, a couple days we just confirmed this. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Again, guys, Lauren Lane, she was a co-founder of Skepticon, 6 years running, Skepticon 6. Say that 5 times, right? Skepticon 6 takes place next week, guys, next weekend from November 15th to 17th at Springfield Expo Center, Springfield, Missouri. And if you want more info on the event, or if you would wish to watch it live stream when it does happen, you can go to skepticon.org.
Did we mention that Skepticon is absolutely free to attend?
Absolutely. Skepticon at the end here is free to attend.
Yeah, $0.0.
There we go. So there we go, and we'll end the show. We'll end the show here. And Lauren, thanks again. I do appreciate it.
Well, by the way, I wanted to point out that you can make a donation to Skepticon on the website.
Yeah,
yes.
Please, guys, if you do have a little extra cash, go over to the website. Even though it's free, we definitely could help it out if we can. And,
yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So please
Every penny counts.
That's a great point. Thank you for bringing that up, Matthew. I appreciate that. Ned and Matthew, you got anything else before we leave?
No, thank you.
Great. Lauren, thank you very much, and I appreciate having you on the show.
Anytime. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You take care now. Have fun.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.